Hi, I'm Jonathan from potency.world, and we're in the continuation, series three of a conversation I've had with a very long-standing connection of mine and her cousin about dating apps, about marriage, about all aspects, and what that leads to from a potential exploitation or catfishing. And, people will say they have a particular faith and then acts very much in opposition to that. So I'd like to come back to Anasuya first. Anasuya, hi, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine, Jonathan. Okay,
So,
nice to
yeah,
see you
I'm brilliant.
again. Yeah,
Yeah,
nice to
brilliant, brilliant.
see you, both of you. Yeah, so yeah,
So,
okay. Uh, let me share my experience that another, which is a different app, that is Matrimonial app, where I
okay,
met. Yeah, Matrimonial app is called Shadi.com. Okay.
yes.
Yes, so I met a person. He's pretending to be a doctor. Okay, so he was just he was pretending he was a nephrologist.
Hmm.
He does all the dialysis. He take cares of the dialysis department or something like that. He told me like that, and he started talking to me in the way that he wants to marry me within the 3 months or 4 months time.
Hmm.
So it was like, the very next day itself, the thing was like, when I was at my sister's place in Hyderabad. Okay, so that time I was not well. I suffered from dengue, that kind of fever we have in. Yeah, so I was little weak. But at the same time, the person he called me, I was thinking that, okay, because I was just resting at home with at my sister's place. So he just called me, and he told me, "Yeah, hi dear, how are you? Okay, I'm this and that." Okay, he introduced himself, that he's from Kerala. Basically, it's a part of
Yeah,
the
yeah, south of Goa.
southern part of the India. It's
Yeah.
called Kerala. So, and he is like, his family is there, and but he's mostly the other part, his siblings and all, they're settled in US. Okay,
Hmm.
he told me like that, and currently he is based in Kuwait. Okay, he's working for some hospital. I forgot the name, some Al Sifra or something, Dal Al Sifra or something, I forgot the name, the hospital. So he told me that I'm working here, I'm doing some research, and so I'm a doctor. I'm looking after here the dialysis department. So I'm looking for a life partner, and I want to get married very soon. So
Hmm.
I'm coming it was around during that time, I think November or something around. So it is the next, I think 2026 Feb. He told, like, in it was like, so I'm planning to get married. So in Fab, okay, in Fab.
Wow.
So this 4 months time is enough for us to get to know each other. So he told me that in between, maybe I come and visit you to
Mhm.
your place in Hyderabad, or maybe some. So that's how the story started, and I started talking. He started talking, and normally, frequently we talk. Also, we did some video calls,
Mhm.
and he started asking me all my, what are your past experiences and everything he wants to know. Then I asked him, why you want my past experiences? So can I
Mhm.
know your experiences? Okay, men are like, they like to ask women, like, mostly in the Matrimonial app, I got experienced it. They like to know more women, like, like more personally in the sense, like, as an individual, along with that, what are your experience, what are experience. But they are not ready to, they're not ready to
Hmm.
disclose their own self, their own things, personal affairs, like with whom they have been contacted, like any other, if they had some girlfriends, or if they have some affairs in past, they are
So,
not ready. Yeah, I mean,
well, so
yeah,
the guy that you were talking to, that you were going to get married to, I didn't realize it was this
yeah.
recently. What was he saying when you would ask a question about his experience?
He said, no, I'm a very clean guy. He said,
Okay.
I'm a very clean and transparent person. I don't have
Yeah.
anything serious. My wife got, she died. He pretended to be a widow. Okay, he
Right.
told me that he's a widow. She died of road accident. So I'm quite transparent. I'm clean. I don't have any other kind of affair. So now I want to look for a very kind-hearted person who
Mhm.
looks after, who take care of family, who takes all this kind, like, those are like, whatever
Literally
the,
speaking the
yeah.
language you wanted to hear.
Sorry?
Using the very words that you want to hear.
Okay, he wants to hear, like, he is looking for someone who is very caring, who is very kind-hearted, who is very, who can look after his family. Like
Yeah.
family, his
So
whole.
what I was saying is he was saying to you what you
Yes,
wanted to hear.
he was saying to me, yes.
Yeah. When did you
He was.
find out? So what did you find out first about him when you started to find the truth out?
I found out, no, I mean, this, like how he's pretending, you're asking?
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
is he pretending? Yeah. I found out this, I'll come up the thing. So I'll come up step by step now.
Okay.
So like it was almost 1 month I was talking, and 1 month he was very, he was very frequent. He was very, like, he was eager to talk to me, and he was very consistent of, like every day he calls or he masses greetings and all. After 1 month, his frequency of all these things, consistency is getting reduced.
Right.
Like, he stopped greeting me. Okay, and then he was like, oh, I'm very busy. I have this. Then I asked her, so 1 month and 1.5 months, you were talking to me so nicely, and now why it is like that? Because you told me that you want to marry me in Feb. So this is the way you are. I mean, how you look at to know each other. So I questioned him like that. Then he was, no, I'm very busy. I have this, I work this, I have got a lot of work, a lot of pressure, and all these things. Then I suddenly, one of my friends from Kerala, okay, about almost 2 months, after 2 months of time, it was almost 3 months, I think, yeah. So one of friend, he was my junior, okay, I was working for Infosys in Hyderabad, so he was my junior. So the reason, I mean, the place where the fellow belongs to, this my friend, he's also from the same place.
Right.
Yeah, so I just asked him, so do you know this place? Well, that my junior, he said, yes, we know, and people are very, I mean, we are a small colony, so and it was very known. I mean, everyone know each other. The neighborhood is quite close. There's not a. So I asked him that, do you know this person or his family? He said, okay, I have to find out whether. So my friend, he found out about that person, and see his brother-in-law, someone else was working in the same hospital in Kuwait.
Right.
Okay, so he told me, I asked him, so can you find out this person, whether he's working there, or he's a doctor, his name is this. Then he gave me all the information. He pretended that he was a doctor to me, that actually he was a technician. He did his nursing, BSc nursing, and after that he went there to do some kind of internship. Okay, and he was working for that, as an intern. He was doing some research. So that's how the things started disclosing, and I started. And when I asked him then again, so I came to know that you are this. Do you know this person? And that brother-in-law, I mean, his brother-in-law and his wife is something in a very good position in that hospital.
Right.
So that guy, he got scared. he got scared, he may lose his job, right?
Well, here's the thing, and we're going to come to you next, Rimi, because when Anasuya told me about your story, yours involved getting married. So that's extremely important. Anasuya, what on earth do you think these men are thinking? What is the point?
See, I think they are very insecure. Men are very insecure.
Okay.
They are like,
So it's like a validation thing.
Sorry?
It's like a validation. If they get a response from you, a girl, it makes them feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it? Or I mean, I'm just thinking.
They are insecure of women nowadays, because women are, they're becoming very, they feel that women are becoming volatile, actually. Volatile how? Because they are like, they know the things nowadays, they can't
get away with it. Yeah.
The emotional, if they want to, if they directly disclose themselves, then the problem starts. So they used to pretend to be what they are at the beginning. They want to see actually who are you, as if I'm talking about a woman. They want to see whether they are really very person, we can accommodating person or not. I mean, in a family, because I'm talking about the Indian family system, how the men behave. They always look after a family, like their parents and their whole relatives, like in front of them, whether that woman can be accommodate them, is flexible or not. Okay, these are the things they look after. And at the same time, they are also, they are, suppose if the person is divorced, or he had a, suppose this person, he pretended that he was widow, right? He was a widow, but actually he was not a widow. He never married. Yeah, I get to know everything. He never married and he pretended. But why he pretended? I asked him then. He told me that no, because I want to attract you. He told me, can you imagine? He's such a kind of psycho or something. I have no idea. Otherwise, because you are very smart and I want you to be my life partner, because you are very smart and you are very intelligent. So how can I attract an intelligent person? Because that's why, because otherwise you will not, because if I say I'm never married or something, then you will ask me so many questions. You have girlfriends, you have this, you have that. So I say just simply like that I'm widow, and because you are divorced, like this kind of thing. He was just trying to making the story. I don't know what kind of story is it. Yeah, I mean.
Well, look, so we talked a bit about my experience from the other way around, and I think everybody is insecure to a larger or lesser extent. But I think male insecurity has very much been, so there's a whole movement of angry men on the internet, angry men in the world, who are feeling as if they deserve to have sex and to have women as their subordinate. And so whilst it's not all men, it is a increasingly large selection of them, and I don't understand. But then you see, so I probably haven't really bothered lying since I was about eight or nine, because when you get caught lying by your parents, and like you go, no, I didn't touch it, and you've got it in your hand. And then they go, yeah, and you face the punishment. So after a while, I kind of went, well, there's no point in me lying anymore. But that, you see, is linked to a avoidant attachment style. I don't mind being honest because I don't expect anything to happen. But it is interesting that we hear stories. I hear stories about men on their dating app saying they're this, that, and the other in America, in the UK, wherever it might be, and they turn up and they're like 5'4", or they're bald like me, for example. It's just crazy things that I could be going to get found out straight away. So I don't understand. I suppose perspectives on this, either of you. I suppose that in a dopamine addicted culture, any validation is good, but because there is this infinite choice, investment, the time and the patience. So, for example, this whole messaging every day and good morning and blah, blah, blah. I've showed you my phone. I've got a dumb phone. So to send a text, if I want to use the letter C, I press the one button 3 times to get the C. So I don't send texts. I don't do phone calls. My best friend, her father died a week before, and I only see her once every 6 months, maybe. So the very idea, because this is the things that concern me, is that the expectation is built up to be a big thing, but it's built of lots of smaller things. Right, I'm going off track a little bit. Rimi, speak as much as you want about how you got to your situation.
Oh, well, I was listening to my cousin's stories about the using of dating apps and meeting men not in tune with her expectations, or maybe many women for that matter. So I personally don't have any experience of using a dating app. I also mentioned this in my previous series of interaction. So yeah. I would reiterate the same. But having said that, I know about many women who have done it and who has incurred the wrath of, misuse of these sort of platforms where men come easily, men go easily. I mean, it's a platform for easy come and easy go type of people. That's how I would like to put it very clearly.
I thought you had an experience of Shadi.
Not actually. I don't have the experience of using a dating app, or for that matter, signing myself in any of the matrimonial sites. So I'm a slight digression here. Okay. I believe in more of a physical kind of, meeting and greeting, so that I get to know a person better. But did
you get married?
I did. It just did not work out. It was not a very stringent kind of legal marriage. It was just how shall I put it? A very close-knit private affair. And it did not incur any legality because we never registered our marriage and also never got any court marriage done. So in India, if you do not register your marriage or you don't do a court marriage, so you are not legally bound to that person as a married partner. So you are not into a legal matrimony. So I think I've made it very clear. So so I'm kind of free from the legal ramification of a marriage or a matrimonial alliance. So I don't necessarily have to go there since it was not that kind of a marriage. So it just did not work out. It's more like how it happens in the West. So I did it in a similar way. It was not a white wedding, you can say.
Yeah.
It's.
How did you meet this man? If you like to meet people out in the world, how did you meet him?
I just happened to be in my school reunion program, and I went all the way to my school, which is a place almost 14 hours from Guwahati, where I currently live, the current city. So it almost take 14 hours, maybe 100 or more kilometers, somewhere like that. So yeah, and so I happened to meet him there. So he was in a band. He was in a Western music band, and he was the front man of that band. So I just happened to meet him there, got introduced. It was a very twilight kind of romantic feeling. So this man just walks up to me and gets introduced to me. So I just happened to say hi to him, the usual greeting, and it gradually turned into a little more than a greeting, It turned into liking, the liking converted into a love story. You know how usually things happen. It was similar in my case. So we came down from my city, so it was easier for me to keep meeting him those days. It's a story 9 years back. So I happened to meet this guy, and we gradually developed a deep-seated bonding, a little modern friendship. Then we thought, why not, let's commit to one another. Let's get married on a whim. And just at the time, the COVID-19 outbreak happened and everything was under lockdown. So, it just dawned on me that I should do something different now that I have found a man. And although I was not too keen on committing and getting married, I was very happy the way it was going, an open-ended relationship. So we often talked about it. But since there was this COVID thing and everything was under lockdown, life came to a standstill. And we thought, let's do something different. Let's break away from the shackles of this house arrest and let's get together. Only the marriage will make it possible. So we just got into a very quick family affair, a small ceremony, a very simple, small ceremony. Did not take much of time. And we got married like that. And we started living together. Initially, things were fine with us. We could gel well. Everything was going fine. But gradually, as we started living together and getting closer and closer, the differences became acute.
Right.
It came to such a pass that, differences were irreconcilable. And we just thought we cannot be with each other anymore.
Wow.
Yeah. He has different perspective of looking at life. I have a different perspective of looking at life and leading my life, I'm more of an action woman, you can say. I like doing activities. I like being with communities. I like being with people out there in the open. So he was just the opposite type. I have seen couples living with all the differences together. People agree to disagree, but in our case, it was not that simple. Things took from bad to worse turn, and it literally became impossible for us to put up with one another. And on the slightest pretext, he also got abusive. I don't know, it was his inherent nature or something else came up, or maybe some kind of a trauma that really affected him and the relationship. Of course, he had a past which was not at all pleasant to hear and to absorb, because he had a very strict parenting. In my case, I had been brought up very liberally. I have been raised very liberally. I was encouraged to think for myself, to decide for myself, go out there in the open, experience life, explore the things I would love to do. In his case, there were restrictions, restraints, and a lot of, pulling back from his family.
Yes.
So that kind of a trauma was there. So initially when I came into his life, I was like a lease of fresh air for him. And of course, he being a narcissist, he is no doubt about it, because
Okay.
he had to be right all the time, and it was very difficult for him to accept opposing views, people who are not like him. So
Mm.
I believe there was some kind of thrill in the initial chase in the
Yeah.
relationship.
Yes, well, there
Yes.
is, I think, from both
A
sides.
lot of
feel it.
validation, and a
Yeah.
lot of validation.
Yeah,
Me
yeah.
consenting to and accommodating his chase, probably that gave him an ego boost.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I can see why. Yeah. All right.
So
Well, look.
basically, when you get to meet somebody new, initial days are so beautiful. I mean, so
Yeah.
magical, so hunky-dory. But
Mhm.
as time progresses and you get into the thick of things and start learning about each other's flaws, imperfections, the not so pleasant side of each other, then possibly things starts getting sour. In case of every human relationship, this
Yeah. So I wanted
this
to
is
ask.
there.
I want to ask this then. So you kind of marry because we are facing possible the end of the world. So yeah, let's put the negative aside and dive into
Let's
marriage.
do something
Yeah,
exciting.
exactly.
It
So
was
that-
a thrill.
Yes, exactly. Now, there used to be a thing called the 7-year itch. So after 7 years of marriage, and typically when the children are between 7 and 11 years old, men leave families. By and large, it is the men who leave. How quickly did your experience go from bad to worse and worse to worse? Because in that story I told you about my relationship, I'd sat on it and sat on it for ages, and it snapped in 3 minutes of anger, and then it was over. How long did your discoveries take before you were free?
We were not married for the first 3 years, right?
Okay.
And those 3 years were kind of a phase in our life that gave us enough room for breathing free and not stepping so much into each other's shoes, because we were not in a live-in relationship either. So it was easier for us to sustain the relationship.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being in a deep distance and not getting too up close and personal, but
Yes.
connected to each other in a way. But as soon as we got married and start living under the same roof, things changed.
Yeah.
And we understood living together for him and me is not going to be simple. It's not going to be easy for us.
No. And
it exactly happened the way I thought, or I foresaw the entire scenario.
From what point did you see the whole scenario? What, you saw that it was going to get worse?
Yeah, look like that, because his initial threshold of condoning small mistakes on my part was not there anymore. Once we started living together, he got very impatient, desperate for snapping on me, small things irritated him, small errors I made, I have my share of imperfections, because we are not perfect.
No,
none of us.
Especially me.
So I understood, this small bit of intolerance may come on the way of our long-term sustainability in the relationship. So it was not going in the right direction. And the perspectives of living life, looking at things, looking at the broader picture,
So
The perspectives were very different,
and
varied
this is the
from
thing.
time to time.
And this is the thing I noticed, is that what we, all of us individually, think of as normal is only normal specifically to us and our parents and our grandparents and the lives you led. So your two ladies in India, I'm interviewing a young woman tomorrow. She gave her first TED talk at 13. Her dad runs her social media for her, and they're in Bangalore. And for a father to support his daughter, to blow away all these cobwebs of, I mean, she's interviewed CEOs and been on this and top Pakistani young woman, this, loads of things. And she's exactly the kind of girl this idea is trying to create. And then another girl I'm interviewing next week, the first time I spoke to her, and we were talking about her age, I'm pretty sure I heard 30. And the conversation we were having was like, yeah, okay, I'm talking to a 30-year-old. So I then offered to do an interview for her. And in the interview, she told me her age, 13. At 13, she'd reached out to me on LinkedIn in a way that, whereas everybody sends you DMs with loads and loads, I do this and that and the other, and do you want this? She went, I've looked at your stuff. I have some ideas about what you could do and how it would help. Do you want to take a call? And I went, yeah, I'll take a call. So she, when we were talking, had written to the CEO of the company HubSpot, the CRM software. And she worked for HubSpot because the CEO read her letter, which basically said, here's your problem. Here's the way I deal with it. Do you want to have a chat? And she sent the email thinking, and within 2 days she had a reply, and within a week she was working for that company. And so she was 12 when she did that. So women like you, men like me, and women like those two young ladies are already, we're too strong. So here's the thing, and I don't know if you can relate to this. Underneath my television at home, I have pictures of my family in frames. Now, they're all spaced evenly, so it's like a fanned thing. It's, I like to keep things equal and well organised. And I had an experience with a lady many years ago, like 15 years ago, and she came into the flat, and she goes, "Oh, is that your family?" And then started picking up the frames. Now, I didn't scream out loud, but inside I was going, "No!" And that was 15 years ago when I was much more simple. Now, it's the way we live is so, okay. Here's my theory, and both of you feedback on it. I think the most important questions to ask someone that you might be interested in, once you get over the let's go out for a coffee and the basic sort of small talk, for me, it comes down to beliefs. So not just religious beliefs, but beliefs about where they are in the world, beliefs about who they are as a person. Because from asking that question, I find out if their frame is the world happens to me or the world happens for me. People that the world happens to will always find a way to make it against them. Whereas people that think the world happens for them, so you and Rimi and Anasuya, you go out in the world Anasuya, I met through one thing, then you're into another thing, then you're doing a third thing, then you're doing a fourth thing. You've done like 5 different businesses in the time I've known you. So this is crazy stuff. So I have 5 beliefs that I use every day. First belief is equality, complete equality. The second belief is the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. The third is free will. And free will for me is not an Android phone or an iPhone. It's any phone or no phone. That's free choice. People are so hyped up, so free will. Then the fourth is every day is a gift. When you've died a few times as I have, you really understand what a gift each day is. And then the fifth one is children are spectacular. Through those deliberate beliefs that aren't actually in the world, but how I choose to engage with the world, gets me the results I get. So I have joy, I have connection, I think I help people sometimes. And all of it comes from those 5 beliefs, basically. So that's what I ask people. I ask them, I think, I'll shut up in a minute and let you talk. I think the problem with asking about previous relationships or anything like that is they're framed in a memory, which is, we know memories are not true. We know that pretty much everybody tells their side of the argument, making the other person sound worse. It's not because it's not true, it's just something we do to protect our own psychology. So, what questions would you ask moving forward so that you didn't have the same experience again, either of you? Anasuya?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's about the individual, like how you approaches the things, how you approaches your life. Like you have a different experience in life, and you have this. Your belief system, the way you have put up your thing. Yeah, and my experiences, I will say, like, in my entire journey, if I say about my life, I see a lot of struggles. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of struggle of believing someone. Okay. The struggle of the relationship is always there. I mean, believing is like, that's how you are building a relationship with someone. Grow in the sense, to think her perspective, okay, her perceptions, whatever. So this was what I found difficulty. I don't have any of my own opinion. I always follow the what is what is given to me. What is
yeah.
Okay. So I don't have any opinion of myself. I was like, I was built up in that environment.
Yeah.
But later, usually when that's how I believe that I met a lot of wrong person in my life. Wrong person in my sense, in the relationship. I'm talking about a man. Okay. Because I don't understand them very fast, because I never mingle with man. I never had a friendship with men. I was like, only with the girl environment, girlies, okay, girlies.
Yeah.
So this is how all the things, a female, you should, the family matters a lot. The way how you are growing up, the whole family. Mostly in India, this patriarchal system, society is, in a way, it is built up. It's a very difficult environment. Like, you have your father is the head of the family, okay, and your mom, and she has to look after the whole household.
Yes.
Okay,
so you were born. So being born and brought up in this very strict environment.
Yeah.
You obviously have flourished later in life as you've got older. What question will you ask the next man that you meet, if you're interested? What is the one question that someone can walk away from watching this and go, I'm going to ask that question?
Suppose if I'm meeting someone which I'm for a marriage or something, in kind of.
What's the first thing you're going to ask them?
Okay, I'll ask him what actually you were looking for.
Okay, but your experience thus far is that the people don't tell you the truth about what they're looking for.
Yes.
Even if they know. I don't know what I'm looking for. I've no idea because I've had no experience. So, give me another one. Another question. A different way of finding out. Oh, sorry, Rimi, go on.
Okay, she wants to say something.
If you want my perspective on this,
please.
So I would totally differ from Anasuya because I have a very different upbringing than Anasuya.
Yeah.
So I have been brought up very liberally, encouraged to think for myself, to fend for myself, to stand up for myself. I mean, I have already said that and I'm still reiterating. So it is very important for me to see, look at another person, what kind of values he has been inculcating in his personality, into his being. What are the values that he carries from his upbringing and he brings to me, and also not just to me, but how he shares it with the rest of the world. So for me, how he treats other people would be very important. Not just me, how he behaves with other human beings is something for me to look for. It is not about being only good to me, but I would like to see how he is in general, to his surroundings, to the people around. I mean, I will be able to find out more about that person when I would see him in an open environment, with mingling with rest of the people. That is so important.
So go on.
For me, I mean, if I have to put a bit more about myself, I'm a person who would like to go out there and see how things unfold.
Yes.
Organically.
Yes.
So I'm a very organic human being. I have been brought up organically. So I have not known restraint, very opposite of what Anasuya has faced her entire life. So for me, the openness necessarily does not mean misusing my freedom. With freedom comes a set of responsibility, a set of obligation towards my society, my fellow beings. And I am the one to decide where my limit lies. So I can set boundaries with people if need be. And I have to be very mindful about dealing with the other person, where he's coming from. Because human relationships are very delicate, very sensitive. Of course, there is a darker side to everything. But having said that, there is also a brighter side to things. So the glass is not always half full in this case.
Well, or half empty. I think that I believe that fundamentally human connection is the most important thing we have. Most people are afraid of love because of the way you were brought up. Now, you see, here's the interesting thing from me talking to you. You two ladies present with the same energy and decisiveness and independence. You from very liberal, you from really strict. And I've spoken to Anasuya for 6 years, not every day, but I didn't know that about you because you seem so confident. Well, there you have it. Is there anything you'd like to say as a last note to anyone who's watched this conversation so far?
As for me, I'm very grateful that you have set out this platform for voices that have been suppressed
Mhm.
and are not able to get the right kind of platform and also people to share their stories with. So I think this is an appropriate platform. One should
Good.
approach with a lot of trust
Thank
and
you.
confidence, because this is an enabling platform,
Good.
not
I'm
anything
glad.
else.
Good. I'm
Yes.
so glad.
And at the same time, the message that any woman would like to give can be very meaningful, can be loud and clear, and it can straight away reach out to a larger audience where we may be sharing many more similar stories but are
Yes.
not forthcoming because they lack the courage to come forward, and they're not
Yeah.
aware of a platform like this and a program where they can be themselves, where they don't have to be cautious or
Yeah.
measured while speaking. That is
Yes.
most important.
Well,
So you
do you
can
know
shed your
what?
inhibitions. You can just be
Yeah.
transparent. You can open up. This is the beauty of this specific podcast I have ever attended to.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really a podcast; it's a video, but yeah.
It's a
Well,
conversational
yeah,
platform where it is
okay,
one to one.
Anasuya, is the final word for the watching public?
Yeah. So yeah, definitely, I would like to say whoever is going to watch this conversations of us. Yeah, I mean, there are so many things can happen in your life. With me, these are the worst experience or bitter experiences I had with these dating apps and matrimonial sites. So I would say why I took the chance, because I was quite busy, and still I'm busy because I'm a working professional, and then I don't find, because where I'm currently staying, where it's very difficult, to go and meet, because nowadays there are some networking clubs are there, events are there, but you don't get time sometimes, because I'm into some software this environment where you just have to be only with the system you work. So that's how the people, they easily did take the chance of easy way to, if it is genuine platform, if someone refer you, that you just go and register yourself and you open. That's how I took the chance. I just took a chance, but that was also, it was a very bitter experience, and I understood the online dating things are not at all, you should not just rely on that.
No.
But instead you should just go and meeting with, maybe there are so many other way that you can find out where you have some public event, or you can do some networking where you can meet some genuine people, genuine platform, and platform in the sense like mostly where the gatherings are, where maybe somehow you just come across and then you meet your dream, whatever you say, your person, where you can find someone, I mean, you have to be very cautious, whoever is there now, mostly the younger generation. The way the things are getting, the digital is not so easy, and you have to be very cautious. You have to take every step very carefully. If you are talking someone, you should not just simply share your number or share all your details like so abruptly, so that because you will be victimized. The rest other person is they don't care, they will just go off, they will just so these are the platform now, how you have come up with like social me too and your potency world. So you are trying to educate people, you are trying to bring up a woman, empower women, like how by helping them, by bringing up to raise their voice. Okay, this is how a woman can only come up and share the experiences. Otherwise it's very difficult,
I think it's my responsibility as a man, and see, this is the thing, because I said my mother and father, they worked the disagreements out and went forward as a team. So it is my natural inclination to help, basically, All right, well, look, we've run a little bit over. We're going to wave goodbye to the people in a second, and then afterwards, I'm going to ask you for a song choice that I can get on YouTube, and then I'll download it and put it at the end of the interview. So for now, say goodbye to everyone. Bye, everyone.
Okay, bye, everyone. Yeah.
Oh, Rimi, are you not doing it? You're not doing the right thing?
Maybe I'm reluctant to go. I'm liking your platform so much. So
Fantastic.
all right.
Thank
you so much for having me here and giving this opportunity to talk. So
no
I
problem.
would request more women to come forward to share their stories.
Let's hope they do.
Feel very safe and beautiful coming here and sharing the experience.
Thank you. It's kind to say. All right. Take care. We'll see you soon.